Before I lose you, and I know you're busy, I did want to play Joe Biden's response. As viewers may know, he's now publicly addressed this allegation. Let's take a listen.
It is not true. I'm saying unequivocally, it never happened. And it didn't. It never happened. I'm asking the Secretary of the Senate today to identify whether any such document exists. If it does, make it public.
Joe Biden speaking out just days ago on that allegation of a sexual assault. Now that he has given that answer, do you view this as a closed issue, or what is your response?
Well, it is for me. I have said I am proud to support Joe Biden for president. I believe him when he says it didn't happen. But I also believe him when he said let them look into the records. And that's what they should do. But I'm not going to answer this question again. I will just say I have every confidence that Joe Biden will be a great president of the United States, not only because of the person of integrity that he is, but the person of vision that he is for just some of the things you talked about health care for all Americans, about job security, about the kitchen table issues that he's so familiar with in his own family when his father lost his own job. Joe Biden is Joe. And again, he brings those values and his personal experience to a vision for America that is about fairness and not trickle-down economics, but bubble up from that kitchen table from working families in our country. And now we hope to have in this bill a reflection of meeting the needs of everyone in our country and not trickle down or have science and research in science that's dominated anything other than by the best possible science. And I salute our scientists for what they are doing to free us from this.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.